Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. We have 25 minutes with you this morning. I'm going to share as much insight in about 15 minutes, and then we're going to hand over to Ashleigh from ASOS. So I'm going to rip through it. I do talk with my hands, so if I fling this clicker at you, I do apologize. So my name is Carl West. I'm from Foxintelligence. What is Fox? What the Fox? So essentially, we're the biggest e-shopper consumer panel in the world. We have over 5 million people currently passively sharing their e-receipts, newsletter information, what their hobbies they follow through mail groups, etc. And what does that mean? That means that we have a finger on the pulse of consumers, what they're buying, their interests in, so we can build segmentations, we can build cohorts. But the great thing about an e-receipt, obviously it shares with us the merchant they buy from, the seller, if it's a 3P sale, the brand, the description, the price. We have things like, for example, delivery method, delivery location, and also we get demographic information. All right, that's a bit of context. I don't want to go doing a hard sales pitch. So this morning, we're going to be talking about basically 6 hot topics. I'm going to go through them as quickly as I can, but let's get as much information. So the first thing is category mix. Now, FMCG category has grown as far as share of wallet in most EU countries, and I'll talk about that a bit more in a moment. Marketplaces, obviously we hear a lot about this, a lot of story about marketplaces, but a new entrant to the market, Temu, has made a big sensation across the European market, and in some cases is outstripping Wish. Social commerce is another big topic. We've obviously seen and heard a lot about TikTok and their successes. And then I want to focus on secondhand, because as a brand, as a retailer, you always talk about your accessible market, your TAM. Now, new sales is obviously really important if you're selling new product, but especially through cost of living, people are being forced more and more to secondhand product. And that used to be predominantly technology, but increasingly, and actually a greater share, it's moving into fashion. And then really the last bit is Black Friday, and are you ready? And then we're going to finish off with Ashleigh from ASOS. So, category mix. What you'll see on here is a value chart showing the share of the different categories. Now on what will be your far right, you will see the share of FMCG. Now on average across the top EU5, it was about 20%. And on the left-hand side, you see like computer electronics. Now, predominantly before COVID, when obviously the e-commerce experience happened, technology was a main driver of online e-commerce. But what's also interesting across each of those, so Germany, UK, France, Italy, and Spain, is the light grey. Computers and technology used to be the biggest share of online spend in the UK. Now it's been superseded by fashion. And again, as you see across all of the different shares there, you will see that actually it's starting to balance out. It used to be a tech thing, then it was a fashion thing, and now all the other categories are starting to find their mode within those shares. Now, if you compare that to, say, for example, previous to COVID, again, what I mentioned before, the dark blue here showing that computers and technology were the biggest area in share of value across the countries. And looking at FMCG, in the orange, you will see that actually that share was less. It was about 16%. But again, as you see, as those colors change, the growth of online, obviously we've seen exceptional growth in value over COVID. That's now starting to balance out. Obviously, computers and technology were very, very prevalent over COVID as we're all stuck at home. Obviously, we're seeing some declines in that area, but those declines in computers and technology has actually been filled by FMCG and by the likes of fashion. And some of these other areas have been growing too. Now, marketplaces. Basically, when we're talking about marketplaces, I'm talking about 3P selling. Now, a third of online spend across Europe is within 3P. So these are sellers on marketplaces. And you can see across the EU5 countries that 37% on average is the share of 3P. Now, why is that important? So what? Well, okay, so you're going out there as a seller and you are setting up a direct-to-consumer website. Well, there is a market for 3P. If you are a click-and-mortar retailer and you're selling directly to the consumer from a retail site, there is again a 3P opportunity as well. So when you're looking at the size and the impact of 3P selling in marketplaces, you can see it's quite sizable across each of those countries. Now when you look at online marketplaces, who is actually participating? So from the US, we have the likes of Amazon, eBay, Etsy, and then across Europe, we have Vinted, we have Zalando, Backmarket, Alto, and then from Asia, we have the likes of Rakuten, AliExpress, and TikTok. All of these contributing. Now, these are just the top ones. There's a long list of them. And I will say, if you want to see these slides, you want to ask a bit more information, come to our stand, which is just over there at M70, and I can show you some of the other ones. Now, when you're talking about marketplaces, we can't ignore the fact that Temu has come onto the market. You know, joining the likes of Wish from China, they've had huge success in a short period of time. So the chart here is now showing you volume of orders, Wish, the whole of 2019, the volume of orders, and then comparing that for the last 3 months of just Temu. And you can see that in each of those areas, the green being the Wish, you can see that actually Temu in such a short space of time has already overtaken the likes of Wish. So big trajectory. Now of course with Temu and Wish you're thinking, all right, it's low prices. You know, £5, £1, those types of products. Actually not. Actually we're seeing that Temu spenders are actually buying from other sites where you don't see those price discounting. You don't see that drive for the lowest price. So yes, there are people on there buying small items at small prices, but actually the range is quite dynamic. So when you're looking at the people who are buying from Temu, who are they also buying from? So we have the ability to monitor that. So in Germany, you've got AliExpress, Grand Prix. In the UK, you've got OnBuy, AliExpress, Shein. And then you've got across the other ones, you've got, for example, France, Kiabi, Shein, and AliExpress. But you can see through each of those that they are buying from many different other marketplaces, and it's not just about price. So moving on to social commerce. A lot of news and a lot of punditry talking about TikTok. TikTok have gone, in less than 2 years, they've gone from a no name as far as selling, and they've gone now to the one being in the top 5 of cosmetic sales in the UK. So in less than 2 years. I mean, it's phenomenal the turnaround they've had. So who are the top merchants? We've got Amazon, we've got Boots, Look Fantastic, TikTok, and we've got ASOS. But one thing to bear in mind is, yes, they are now top 5 in the cosmetics area, but actually they're moving into technology, they're moving into fashion, they're moving into FMCG. So if you're not a player within TikTok and you're not analyzing and watching TikTok, this is something you need to look at. Huge opportunity, and I know there's some people from TikTok speaking at this event today or yesterday. Huge opportunity as a brand, as a direct-to-consumer brand, but also if you're a mass marketer and you're wondering where your share's going, TikTok's one that you need to look out for. Now, of course, with TikTok, you're thinking, okay, they're top 5, are they buying their share? Well, actually, they're not. If we look at TikTok buyers, they are really quite high spenders in the beauty category. And if you look at their spend on cosmetics online, the average spend per year, so you'll see in the top box there, on the left-hand side, it shows you all cosmetics, and it's £60.20. TikTok buyers in a year will spend about £94.40. The average order value, generally, online cosmetics is £14, and TikTok is closer to £16. But the other thing that they really do have advantage of is retention and repeat business. So purchase frequency is actually higher with TikTok than it is with a standard online cosmetic retailer. It's quite phenomenal. Now, when you look at the share of wallet, the spend of TikTok and the other players, the top players within this, you can see on your right-hand side, TikTok demand about 31% share of, this is people who are buying from TikTok that buy from other people as well. So yeah, 31 share. Then you've got the likes of Look Fantastic, Amazon at 21%. So you've got some big players, big brand players, that they are stealing the lunch from. And again, why am I saying this? Because it's an opportunity for you as a brand, if you're a small brand, but it's also an area that you need to look out for in the sense of who's eating your lunch, as it were. Now, the other hot topic is secondhand and reconditioned. Now, in the era of sustainability, this is a sizable market and it's a growing market. So on the left-hand side, you can see the top EU5 countries, and you can see that France, 20% value share of online was in second-hand or refurb within consumer electronics. UK, 15%, and so on and so forth. On the other side, you look at penetration in the sense of fashion. And again, it's even higher. French are leading the way when it comes to second-hand clothing, up at 35%. Quite a meteoric rise in the last few years. Even the UK is sitting at 22%. So again, when you're looking at the TAM, your addressable market, and you have new product, then especially during a cost of living crisis where everybody's disposable income has been challenged, this is basically putting an adrenaline shot in the second-hand market. And this market's not going to go away. More and more retailers, click and mortar, traditional retail, are moving towards this, embracing it through marketplace, and also embracing it through their sites and their stores. So this is definitely one to watch. So if you are processing returns, shipping them off to somebody else or sending them back, maybe think about keeping them in-house, repackaging, rebagging, and then reselling on. So the last bit I just want to finish up on is Black Friday. Now, back in my days at GfK, we used to talk about peak, and it was always Christmas. We'd always talk about how people were getting themselves ready for Christmas. We'd talk about all the big retailers and how they were allocating stock from technology companies and tech and durable companies. Well, now, as we all know, Black Friday is the biggest peak. So we've got 10 big days to come when it comes to online and offline. And you'll see here in the white is the value, online value last year, and then green is the online value this year. And you can see already we're seeing increase in value this year compared to last during Amazon Prime days and the various promo days that are being run, Easter, etc. Back to school is another promotion period. But see the massive peak. And the thing is with Black Friday, you either go big, go niche, or go home. So a mass merchandiser will be able to lock in loads of products, do loads of promotions. But what's fundamentally about Black Friday is obviously traffic, getting yourself seen. And marketplaces are a great way to do that. Sustainability is a strong driver for that. But ultimately, it's about getting your product offering right and finding the right audience. Now, there are providers here today that serve you. There are people here that can facilitate those types of sales. I'd argue you're getting a bit fine in the sense of timing when it comes to Black Friday for this year. But actually, this is the biggest time of the year, and the rest of the year should be preparing for it. But discounting isn't necessarily the answer. Now, data is very, very important. I mean, there's too much data, you can overanalyze. But having bite-sized information, market share, retention, penetration, pricing structure and rigidity, these are all fundamental measures. And again, if you come over to our stand and have a chat with us, we'll show you some of the data that we can provide. But I want to today invite Ashleigh up. She's going to talk about how ASOS use data in their business. So I'd like to bring her on stage and give her a warm welcome, please.
Thanks, Carl. Morning, everyone. I'm Ashleigh. I'm Head of Commercial Insight at ASOS, and I'm just going to share a little bit about how we use data as an insight team. So to put it simply, data helps us make sense of our business. And within the insight team, our purpose is to drive value from that data. So we generate insights, we identify opportunities, and we help our stakeholders to take the right decisions to drive the business forward. We use data to solve problems, to bust myths, to test hypotheses, and to build knowledge across the organisation so that every ASOSer can make more informed and data-driven decisions. As an insight function, we cover multiple disciplines, so we believe that we add the most value through creating joined-up insights that bring together knowledge from across the organisation and reduce siloed decision-making. So we use data to understand our audience. Who is our target consumer? What do they want? Where else are they shopping? And we build segmentations that allows us to understand how we drive engagement and how we can drive value from our customer base. We use data to understand what's driving trade. So that's digging into markets, marketing channels and their effectiveness, product categories, and again, our customer base. We collect and analyze data on our on-site behavior. So how are users navigating the website? How are they navigating to products? Is there any friction in our experience? What's causing this? How do we improve that? And as a retail business, key decisions obviously relate to managing our inventory. So how do we make sure we've got the best portfolio, the most relevant product for our 20-something customers, and how do we drive a greater return on that product? So one of the responsibilities for my team specifically is that piece around diagnosing trading performance. And we know, as Carl has mentioned, it's been a challenging few years for retail, COVID, lockdowns, cost of living, the weather has been all over the place. It's really a perfect storm of factors to impact our KPIs and stimulate lots of questions from the business around what's going on, what's driving our sales. So our approach to this is firstly to take a step back and to consider the external environment. So we know that inflation's been rising. We can see from market intelligence that lower price point and secondhand retailers are gaining prominence in the market. Consumer price sensitivity is really high. So with this context, and then having a look at how our assortment shape has changed over time, we started to explore the role of lower price points in the business. And we looked at this through different lenses so that we were able to influence short-term tactics and long-term actions across the business. So we use clickstream data to investigate whether entry price points are driving users to our website. How does that play out by marketing channel? We analysed conversion rates by price point to understand any differences there and also to explain some recent trends we've been seeing. We did the same thing for return rates to understand what's that relationship as well. We dived into our customer database to understand how often customers are purchasing different price points. Does it tend to be new customers, younger customers? What's that relationship between customer age, tenure, and price point? And then we analysed customer baskets as well to understand if customers are buying cheaper price points, what are they buying it with? And we analysed profitability and item, order, and customer level. So how profitable are baskets that contain different price points, and are lower price points shopped by profitable customers? So in taking this approach, we're able to generate new insights, which over time will turn into business knowledge. And we're also able to estimate how changes to our pricing architecture could holistically impact business KPIs and bottom line profit. So if someone's making a decision over here, could that impact conversion? Could that impact new customers? Could that impact profitability? So in summary, in our team at ASOS, we leverage data through analysis and insight that makes connections between what's happening externally and what's happening internally with our customers, the bottom line, driving value to the organisation and more informed business decisions. Thank you.
Thanks, Ashleigh. So it's interesting about knowing the customer, understanding the customer, which ones are profitable, which ones aren't, and getting rid of the ones that aren't.
Yeah.
Because if you know the audience and you know the people that are going to buy from you and come back to you, it's so very much important, rather than just trawling the net and just grabbing everybody.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely, great, thank you. Well, look, just as a giveaway, this is a promo code for our website, EEL23. Take a picture. You've got until the end of October to go and play on our platform. Go and build and create your own insights. It's a SaaS platform. Just go in, log in, sign up, and then you can start pulling data out of the platform straight away. If you want to have a quick look at it, we have, say, on stand M70. We'll answer any questions. It's not going to be a hard sell. I'm much of a believer of showing value and insight, and the numbers look after themselves after that. So take the Pepsi Challenge with us. Come and have a look and ask any questions, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you very much.